of football. It's named Awashi. It's a coming of age football or soccer manga about a loud, talented kid named Ashito Aoi who plays like the world is watching because to him it is. He's got speed, instinct, and the kind of confidence that can win matches, but also the kind that can break a team. So here it goes, the incredible story of a kid named Ashito Aoi. Chapter 1, First Touch. The the premise is set at a match between two schools, Futami and Baishinchi. These are two schools from Ehime Prefecture, and it's a middle school physical education competition that is going on. The score is set at 3-2 when we are starting the conversation. The crowd is discussing about one player. Who is that player? Our protagonist, Ashito Aoi. People are telling, isn't it incredible? That child with the number 10 on his back. It's a one-man show, somebody else is telling. The opposition team is wrecked up as well. The ball again went to that number 10. That number 10 guy with that weird hairstyle is their only threat. If we can manage to stop him, the opposition team is reeling, is discussing with the threat, Ashito Aoi, as Ashito paces and approaches towards the goalpost. And then he shoots, and it's a blinder. And it smashes into the goalpost. And Ashito shouts, "How about that?" And the crowd is also gelling with him, shouting, "Yes! Oh, that curly haired kid did it again." And now the score is set at equal for both the teams at 0-0. And today's scorer is Aoi, who has scored all the 3 goals for Futami. The rival team had a 3-goal lead, and yet they managed to equalize the score. The commentator is heard saying, and the score is now 4-4. What has happened is in the first half, Futami was 0, where Baisinji, the opposition team, was 3-0 up. In the second half, Futami has managed to score 4 goals, and Baisinji just 1. So it's equalizer. The Futami's coach is heard saying, "We might be able to do it after all." He's in tears. "If we win this match, we will be part of the prefecture top 4 and simultaneously qualify for the 4 provinces tournament." "That's right, coach." "Oh, but..." Now the team, the coach and the staff members are discussing about the chances of qualifying, and one of the crowd members is heard saying, "As always, Aoi-kun movements are all over the place. Position, squad formation, he's ignoring it all. Even though we talked about all sorts of things before the match." One of the staff members tells the coach, but the coach is still happy because they have equalized the match now. Well, isn't it okay? As long as he scores," he exclaims. And Ashito is heard saying, "We can win, guys. We can win this match." And he's grinning with laughter, yeah. Then somebody calls him out from his back while he's heading towards the center stage because the match is about to resume as they've scored the goal. The guy says, "Hey Ashito, your bootlaces aren't tied." Ashito is playfully happy, and not paying attention to anything. And then he says, because he has not heard it, and he said, "Huh?" So this guy keeps on continuing. "Oh, it's true. Wait just a second. The guy approaches Ashito and says, "Do you remember me? Uh, Back in the elementary school, we went to the same club in Yo." Ashito is still grinning because he is very happy, and he continues with the smile and the glee. Uh, then this opposite guy, kind of in a mocking tone, tells, "You were quite a celebrity back then. You'd get kicked out of the starting 11 thanks to your selfish, I'll do everything alone attitude." And he continues, "In the end, you ended up leaving the club. So, oh yeah, something like that happened." Ashito, smirks and tries to shove it out, whatever this guy is trying to say. But well, as you can see right now, I'm in a pretty cool team. He continues, Ashito is smiling, laughing gleefully. There are 5 minutes left. So let's do our best, right? He replies back to this slingering guy. But the slingering guy continues, "Oh, isn't that right? That your little countryside middle school club really accepted you?" And now Ashito is kind of a little bothered. And this opposite guy continues, "Such a boring football your team plays. You get the ball and charge forward while the rest of your team just stays like giving you in the front of their goal all the passes. Do you have any fun playing like that?" And Ashito is like slowly getting triggered. We can see from his face's expression. And then this opposite guy keeps on continuing. "What a foolish bunch. Are you okay with it? When they tell them to get the ball, they will just do it every time while looking like idiots." Now, finally, Ashito has sort of reached the limit of his patience. Well, this other guy continues, "I suppose even trained monkeys can do a lot of tricks." And now Ashito finally snaps and he bursts. But his mother is also there, who is watching. And the crowd is also roaring at the same time. You can hear the crowd chanting, "Oh, what a fun match this turned to be. I don't really get much about football, but I'm glad I took a day off from my work and came here to watch." And then somebody else is telling, "Isn't that just because all the townsfolk are also here? Well, Noriko-chan." And Noriko-chan is Ashito's mother, by the way. And people are all shouting, raring, yelling. There aren't that many sources of entertainment in a small town, as Noriko-chan continues to converse with some other person in the crowd. Everyone here basically went to the same school, they're conversing. If we do manage to qualify for the four provinces tournament, it will be our first time in 32 years. That's Ashito's school we are talking about. It's amazing. As if the Halley's Comet is passing again. Because we all know Halley's Comet takes a while to pass our Earth. And then, as this conversation is continuing in the crowd, we hear a loud bump. What has happened? Oh, we see Ashito head bump that opposite player. No one knows from the crowd. No one knows what has happened, what triggered it. But now, Ashito has done a Zinedine Zidane. We all know what happened back then. But now, like what happened during that match, the opposite player is thrown out and is thrown on the floor. Then we can hear people shouting, "He just freaking gave him a headbutt." And then we can hear the coach, "Are you stupid?" Then we can hear the mom, Noriko, "At such a crucial time. What are you doing, you idiot?" The mom continues. But there is somebody in the crowd with a smile lurking on his face. He's still smiling. And he says, while Ashito gets a red card. and is thrown out of the field. Noriko is in shambles. She has come to cheer for his son. And now we can hear a talk. Even though this was your final tournament in middle school, how shameful. As all the matches are completed, Noriko is heard saying to Ashito, and I even closed the shop today just so I could come and see your game. Ashito has his eyes covered and his t-shirt wrapped on his face, hiding his eyes from the shameful thing that he has done. We can hear his mother keep on talking. Why do you never seem to think things through, Ashito? Why? Even though your mother came to see you, we can hear one of his mother's friends talk to him. And she was right in front of you. Then Ashito replies back softly, Mom has nothing to do with this. Then Ashito gets a slap from his mother's friend. Then we can hear the coach approach Ashito and tell him, Dogo's high principal Kijima also came to observe this match. You understand that, right, Ashito? The coach continued. About your chances of getting recommendation letter? He probably intended to make a decision after watching you perform in this tournament. Naturally. This is what he said. Absolutely not. Dojo High's coach had said to Ashito's coach. The Dojo High's coach has continued telling, I came here in the hopes of seeing a wonderful forward, not some mentally immature kid, he continued. As Ashito's mother, friends, family, everybody looks aghast. They're disappointed. Ashito's team is disappointed. Everybody's sad. Everybody's crying. Because by Senji, the opposition team has won the match 6-0 at the end. And they had failed to qualify for the 4-team tournament. The 4 prefecture tournament. Yeah. Now we are looking at the Hime Sea. And then we can hear a voice over of someone. Of course, it's a lady. If you watch the anime, you would hear her. But yeah, we hear her. Ehime is my older brother's town. And then we can hear the older brother. Isn't he the same guy who was having a lurkery smile when Ashito has committed the head bump? Yes, he is. We don't yet know who he is, but he's having a conversation with his sister. Yes, a grave visit. And then his sister asks, like, why did you even bother to go to that place like that? Huh? But the brother continues. Nothing's changed. In this place, things continue to flow slowly as ever. Then the sister continues, and we first time hear that guy's name. You are just too high-paced yourself, Nozomi-san, ignoring your team's schedule, even though you have a match in 2 days. And Nozomi-san continues, I made sure to tell you to write down all the important things, right? The sister continues, that's not the problem here, Nozomi-san. You got a decision to make after the day, after this. You have got a decisive match the day after tomorrow, the sister continues. And then Nozomi asks his sister, are you mad at me? The sister replies, extremely pissed. The sister's name now is revealed to be Hana-chan. So the conversation is happening between Nozomi and Hana, who are stepbrothers and sisters. And then one of the assistant coach of Nozumi approaches Hana and asks, "Let me talk to him." Then Nozumi kind of continues and tells like, "Well, chill a bit, Hana. As soon as I'm done with the grave visit, uh, because Ehime is the place where, like in Ashito's town, is where Nozumi-san's father's grave exists. So he was buried there, and yeah. So now the conversation continues. Yeah, and then Nozumi tells Hana, "I'll just take care of a few things and we'll return home right away." But as the conversation is continued, Nozumi observes that somebody is approaching him, like running towards him, and then he looks and he says, and he notices that this guy, this kid, number 10 kid, Ashitawi, he's running, and he tells Nozumi, Nozumi-san tells to Ashito, "You have been at it for 2 hours. Just how many laps do you intend to run?" he asks Ashito. Ashito, who was not paying much heed to Nozumi, says, "Huh? Huh?" Then Nozumi says, "That's enough. Stop it, will you? Huh?" And then Ashito is kind of like shocked, surprised, and because he wanted to keep on running, he has been running for 2 hours and he wanted to run, he wanted to beat himself up. So he asks Nozumi, "Who are you?" Then Nozumi says like, he brushes off that conversation and says like, "I was starting to worry about that you won't be stopping and you'll be keeping on running, causing such a ruckus in your match. Did you finally wake up and realize what you did?" "Well, that was a big deal." Ashita continues. "Even though you ran twice as much as everyone else on the pitch earlier, quite the physical endurance you have there," Nozumi continued. And Ashito is sort of exhausted for he's been running. And now, kind of like after this pause, this halt out of a sudden, the exhaustion creeps into him. And he falls down and kind of falls asleep or gets drowned into sleep, I would say, or rather exhaustion. Now we see a flashback where Ashito is seen being introduced to his club, Futami, as we all know. Here, Ashito is talking to his fellow team members and say, "Hi guys," Ashito is heard saying, "I'll now introduce myself to you," as the coach is standing by him. And he says, the coach says, let me talk. And then the coach says like, "This is our new club member. This is Ashito-kun. He's," before even the coach can continue, Ashito interjects and says, "My position on the pitch is genius forward. The only one who can score goals is me." We can hear Ashito talk. But we must remember he's a kid. He's just a 11 or 12-year-old kid. Anyways, keep that in mind. He's a kid. And then Ashito continues to his fellow teammates and even his coach. "The modern day Ronaldo, his reincarnation, that would be me. Not that Ronaldo is dead though." And he says to his fellow clubmates as they all stare at him perplexed, "Just pass me the ball every time you get it, right? And then I'll take care of the rest." And then he again continues. Previously he was Ronaldo's reincarnation, but now he is Mark Van Basten's reincarnation. That's also me. And he continues, not that Van Basten is dead either, but you get the point, right? And also, coach, he now talks to the coach. Hey, please listen. I don't need tactical plans. The plan is me. And he continues, right? Where we can look at the coach staring at him all like, what the hell is going on? That expression is on his face. And he says, I am the plan. This is important. So I said it twice. And then all his teammates are staring at him. They're all flummoxed, just shocked, surprised. And he just brushes off that expression and says, "Poof." And he says, but like they're all kids, right? So one of the kids, out of like this not weird atmosphere, breaks the entire silence and says, ah, what's up with this guy? He's pretty funny, coming in and acting like a manga protagonist. We should throw him a welcome party then. Such grandiose ambition. How lovely. They kind of tease him, mock him. Take a little bit fun. I mean, they're all kids, by the way. So they continue like, all right, we'll have a mini game today, the coach says. Everyone go gather the balls before we start. And I can't tell a lie, the coach says to himself, if I have confidence in myself, it's because I do. I mean, Ashito continues. And if there's something wrong I don't want to do, I'll say it clearly. So in every team I played, I've always been an outspoken person. Ashito is telling about himself. We're listening his monologue for himself. So then he says, but those guys, he's talking about his teammates from Futami. I felt like I was accepted for the first time. And then we can see them all jeering and having fun together. And he believes they're a foolish bunch. And now we understand why Ashito behaved like that way. When the opposite team player had called the people, the kids, those who've accepted him as who he was, monkeys, Ashito was triggered to head bump. So this was the reason we all come to know. And then, like, Ashito awakes from his slumber. He was exhausted previously, as we have all seen. And he says to himself, man, what's up with me? Ah, did I fall asleep? In such a place. And we can see a panel of Ashito's somber reflection. But then we see Nozumi. Nozumi is seen playing with the football and he's kicking on the wall. There is, if you observe the panel, this conversation is being set just beside the sea. It's pretty much reminiscent of if you have watched My Hero Academia. I mean, that's what coming up in my mind. Like it's like All Might and Deku, right? Yeah, Deku having that conversation just beside the sea. So similar to that, Nozumi and Ashito is probably going to have a conversation. Of course, they are. I mean, I'll be telling you that, and we can see. I mean, in a pretty similar expression, like All Might from My Hero Academia, Nozumi rushing and kicking the ball as it hits the wall. Uh, it's a beautiful sight, beautiful panel, and we can see Nozumi dribbling and flirting with the ball as Ashito stares at him, wide awake now. And then he exclaims, it's amazing. And then Ashito says, what's up with that? Amazing. That ball control of yours. And being able to run so crazy, so fast with it. Who are you, old man? Nozumi replies, that was a little ingenious skill. Want me to tell you the secret behind it? And Nozumi continues, if you had learned how to do this skill, you would have scored three more goals today. Uh, and then Ashito kind of hears the terms like selfish striker temperament problems notwithstanding. And then he says, Nozumi says, like, you'd still win that match easily. Everyone in your team would be so happy. It was kind of like a teasing manner, kind of trying to provoke Ashito. And then he passes the ball to Ashito and says, like, give it a try. Treat the ball carefully as if it was like a lost child. And as the ball is passed to Ashito, he is able to control the ball, which is chest. But Nozumi replies, wrong. Don't look down when you receive the ball. The moment you receive a pass, your eyes should be facing the direction you intend to run next. So he's advising on Ashito how to do ball control and proceed from there. It's a very essential technical skill that professional footballers need to have. So then Nozumi explains to Ashito, as Ashito is like, doesn't give a hell, like he's looking perplexed, like who the hell is this old man trying to advise me? But Nozumi continues, so you can expand your field of vision and the options you can take. And Nozumi continues, you twist your body with your first touch so it's facing the direction that you desire, and then you run just like this. Nozumi sort of gives Ashito a mock drill of how to, proceed next from that position. And then Ashito is very annoyed. Ashito jumps down and rushes down the stairs and faces Nozumi. If you had learned that skill and how to do it, Nozumi continues to Ashito while he's looking a little bit perplexed, a little bit annoyed, but he's still listening. You would have scored three more goals today. Nozumi ends. Ashito feels scarred, annoyed, angry. And then he keeps on listening to Nozumi's conversation, or what should I say? It's not a conversation actually. It's more like his speech. And he says, an oriented reception is a fundamental skill in order to receive the ball, which you learn as you train your first touch. So now, this is the first thing that Ashito is learning today about football. It's not about just scoring goals. It's about the essential tools that you need to become a football player. And so, again, I repeat what Nozumi said to Ashito. An oriented reception is a fundamental skill in order to receive the ball, which you learn as you train your first touch. And then Nozumi asks him to come forward, and then he kind of draws the football pitch, and like on the sand, and he says, like, not exactly the football pitch, it's more like the positions. He has started to draw on the sand and try to, with a stick that he has procured from somewhere nearby. And so he says, like, in a circle that he has drawn on the sand, he says, put the ball in the circles after performing one touch ball receptions. It's good we have a sandy surface. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to draw on it, right? I mean, he kind of smirks and sneers, makes it fun, but tries to make the mood a little lighter. Doesn't matter where you aim as long as the ball gets in these circles. But just putting it in isn't enough, Nozumi continues. And then it's like this is like a place X where you will be standing, and you should be at a distance of 3 steps from the circles where the ball will fall. This cannot be done, Nozumi continues, unless your body is facing the target circle at the time of your first touch. And so Ashito is given one of the first basic training of football, which is first touch. So Ashito exclaims like, "All right, give me the ball, old man." No way, too much ball. Use the ball from a 10-meter distance, like I was doing before. Receive the ball. Ashi bounces back to you. Now do it. And now Ashito, who has no idea about first touch because he's an instinctive player. He's not a he has got skills, but it's more instinct oriented rather than physical skill. So like he's trying to understand, trying to make it make some sense out of what Nozomi has been telling him, and he exclaims like, "Is this like a circus trick? Like where this guy Nozumi is trying to like make me act like the lion, or the tiger who's ringmaster? Is this guy Nozumi a ringmaster?" That's what is popping in Ashito's head right now. And while this conversation is going at the beach in at Ehime, we are now our focus is shifted to Ashito's home, where we can see Nozumi's elder son talking on the phone while and we, like he's inquiring like he's on the call and he's telling like, yes, Ashito isn't home yet. He's gonna be left. We can hear Nozumi, Ashito's mother, not Nozumi, Ashito's mother, talk to his elder brother. Could he be at one of his teammates' home? I haven't. Is that so? Where is my pouch? His teammates are all looking for him. It's already 9 p.m., so it's already pretty dark outside. I'm very sorry for troubling you after the match, coach. No, it's not a problem. We can hear the coach saying. Everyone joined the search voluntarily. Certainly, that incident at the end was a shame, but it was since Aokun joined that team, this team has started to win. We can hear the coach tell Ashito's brother. Everyone is genuinely grateful to him. And then we can hear Ashito's mother shout, "It's fine if you leave him, let him be, geese." And she's angry because of what Ashito did in the field. Even though I took a day off work just to see him, why did he have to show me such a violent display? Then Ashito's brother says, "Mother," but then Ashito's mom continues, like, "Still that guy, why did he react like that?" It's hard to believe Ashito's brother is not able to, fix, make it like 1 plus 1 equals to 2. I mean, he's not able to sum it up what has happened. Shan, you are also in trouble here. Even though the part-time job you picked is tough, no, it's fine, Ashito's brother interjects. It's night time already, isn't it? I'm worried. Ashito's brother continues. There's food ready to warm up. He will eat it when he gets home, Ashito's mother says to Ashito's elder brother. And now at the door, we hear a knock. And it's the same guy who was headbutted by Ashito, standing at the door with his parents. And we can see simultaneously Ashito at the beach, trying to master or even improve that first touch skill. He tries to kick it into the positions that Nozumi has asked him to do, but he's failing every time he's trying. And then Nozumi replies and kind of shakily says to him, "You are seriously bad, huh? What time is it already?" he asks to Ashito. And then Nozumi kind of continues, "Man, I don't have a hotel where I can stay at. And they're located far from here anyway. I wonder if I can still make the check-in on time." But Ashito is not listening. He says to Nozumi, "Shut up! I didn't tell you to stay here and watch, old man." Because Ashito is not a quitter. Half, he's puffing, huffing. He's tired, where Nozumi keeps on teasing him, kind of. And he says, like, it's tough as hell. Ashito continues, if it was just to put the ball there, it would be simple. But to do it while taking no more than 3 steps, no wasteful movements can be done at all. And plus, like Ashito is trying to plan it, Moreover, some of the circles are behind the position where he's standing. Dropping the ball in a place you can't see while having to reverse your body position, what you really can't do it. But Ashito is keeping on continuing. And then Nozumi approaches and tells him, enough, time's up. Looks like complex skills are impossible for you. Nozumi continues. Just give me a break. I wonder if I was wrong. At his level, this is probably too hard for him. Nozumi tells to himself. Then Nozumi asks kindly to Ashito, is it okay to end this? Please just answer me this one question, Ashito asks Nozumi. Today. Okay, no, Nozumi asked Ashito actually. Sorry. Today, there was something about your playing style that really stood out. Do you understand this? He plots on the sand and shows with different coins, 5 penny, 1 penny, 10 penny in Japanese currency on the floor, and asks him, do you understand this? This was the movement you scored right before your expulsion. The 1 yen coin is you, the 10 yen coin are your opponents. You suddenly charged your running direction here and tricked your opponents. Broke past 2 defenders and then scored with a powerful shot. And then, like, Ashito was still annoyed and says Nozumi to stop and says, shut up with the complicated talk. And he continues to try to achieve that first touch knowledge that Nozumi has tried to teach him. And he says, then before Ashito can continue, Nozumi says, you don't have any interest in tactics. All you ever think is running around and scoring goals by yourself, not understanding or relying on your allies' movement. It's a difficult solitary type of football you're playing. Ashito is still not listening, it seems. And but Nozumi continues. However, for some reason you kept receiving the ball because he was kind of curious. And Ashito is keeping on practicing and he's not talking and he's shouting. And then Nozumi says, like, it was like that the whole match. Hard to believe. As if it's desperately addicted. The ball comes back to the thoughtless you every single time. And Ashito keeps on punching the wall and trying to reach the aim of understanding how to do the first touch. And then he can hear Nozumi keeps on telling. That's why it looks like you're playing football with yourself. And that's why people are telling at the beginning. Today we heard people say it's a one-man show. Certainly, you have gained your teammates' full trust, having them pass you the ball every time. But it's also completely ineffective. It makes you most of your goal chances, but the amount of chances you have per match is hardly extraordinary. Are you aware of it? Nozumi asks Ashito. Ashito is now furious and he says, I am trying to focus here. Could you stop talking? And then Nozumi is like taken back. He says, oh, scary. And then Ashito kind of takes all the coins and pops it on the sand. And then we are again shifted to Ashito's home, where we can see Ashito's mom and brother sitting and listening to the kid who was head bumped by Ashito with has who has come to their place to say or admit something, and he says like the kid's father is heard saying he was acting weirdly ever since the match ended. Could you please listen to me carefully? I'd like to apologize, the kid says to Ashito's mother. Back then, I said to Aukun, I said some mean things about his teammates. And then Ashito's mom is taken aback. But at that time, the score was still tied, and he was trampling us, you know, all by himself. It's like the ball was glued to Aukun's feet. I thought it would be impossible for us to win if he was on the pitch, and I just wanted to help my team no matter what. He wanted to justify. He tried to justify. Are your family's finances better? That guy has even continued post the monkey comment. And then he kept on saying in the pitch, you were always crazy poor, huh? Well, looking at your boots, it looks like they're pretty worn out. Everyone was saying that doing it together must be embarrassing. Your mom is still in the nightlife business. Oh, right? Hey, I bet you have also did it with her. Can you imagine this worst comment coming from a kid? But again, now Ashito was triggered, and you can see and you can hear him say, are you picking a fight with me? You have a problem with me? Don't you? Then talk to me. Ashito is heard saying, say that I'm shitty, that I don't think about others. Say all you want about me, cunt. My mother has nothing to do with this. Damn it. Nothing. And then we shifted back to the scene where we can see the kid apologize to Ashito's mother for saying such nasty comments. But he says more to himself than to anybody else. We won, but I feel unbearably ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. While we look at Ashito's mom, lost in like understanding, trying to feel why Ashito did it eventually. Yeah. So now I shift back to the beach where Nozumi and Ashito are heavily engaged in that discussion about what happened. That final scoring scene, that time, Nozumi is asking Ashito what was going on. If then Ashito interjects and asks, like, okay, if you're talking about that moment before I scored, it's indeed, as you said, old man. My teammates were positioned like this because everyone was exhausted, no way to move up our lines. The defense was also rock solid. The enemy's alignment was properly arranged. This, for that reason, somehow, this space, I had to occupy it. I could move freely. Worst case scenario, we were watching out for a possibly counter attack as well. The ball was rolling here. Ashito was trying to explain to Nozumi what was going on the field. A chance to score was within our grasp. It was a genius play by yours truly, right out of the textbook. We are all crazy tired. We desperately charged towards the goal, and it was all thanks to those guys. So it was not an individual effort at all, and not out of the fluke or rebound at all. It was not a coincidence. And now Nozumi is shocked, surprised. And while Asito continues telling, it was a goal scored by everyone. And Ashito is heard telling, I have a short temper. I can't do anything unless I'm allowed to move freely inside the pitch. Only thinking about myself. But those guys made me feel accepted for the first time. Thanks to them, I was able to remember why I played this game in the first place. I love football. Even so, I ended up doing such a thing at the very end, but we can see Nozumi excited. What? What is it, old man? This nasty feeling I'm getting. Why are you going? Where are you going? Sitting on the bench above. Need to relax a bit. Haven't slept yet since I came from Tokyo. You go home already. But Nozomi's expression looks like he's found uh, the sorcerer's stone. You know, it he has that kind of expression like he's found something, something out of the box. I can't believe it, he says to himself. That guy, he took into account every single person in the pitch. He's talking about Ashito now. All 22 people, he was able to remember them all, their positions, everyone. Nozumi is very, very shocked, surprised, like as if he has got the philosopher's stone. And Ashito stares at the sky, the moon, which is still some days away from attaining its full shape. And he stares, and we can see eventually the sun arise and a dog yawning, while Nozumi is sleeping just before that dog, and he's like surprised to hear the dog yawn. And he checks the watch, it's 5:14 a.m. in the morning. Man, I ended up falling asleep in this place, he says to himself. But he hears some third, and he sees Ashito is still practicing and hitting the ball. And Nozomi is surprised and says, no way, this guy the whole night. You awake, old man? Ashito says, look, from around dawn, I've finally gotten the hang of it. He shouts with a smile on his face. Amazing, right? Ah, and Nozumi is heard saying, you are pretty nasty yourself. And then Nozumi approaches Ashito and gives him the letter of expression. I'm sorry, his name is not Nozumi, his name is Fukuda. It's been like a couple of months since I've read this manga, so I forgot the name of the characters, but it's Fukuda. So he's the Tokyo Esperion FC's youth coach, football coach, and his name is Fukuda Tatsuya, and Hana is his stepsister. That name I'm pretty sure. So, and Nozumi is also there. Nozumi is the assistant coach, if my memory is right. Yeah. So now Fukuda gives Ashito there is an offer letter for the trial at his club, Esperion, Tokyo Esperion FC. And Ashito is exhausted, uh, and he gives him like a trial letter to come to the trial. And so you say, you know what that means. Like then he explains to Ashito and of course to the audience also that every J League club has a youth team. It's all about raising the new high school age talents. You have ambitions. You see, I have ambitions myself, and he explains to Ashito, like he wants to build a team from a scratch and have the world fit inside the palm of his hand, make that world into a sleeping stone. Our club itself will be the world. That's what Nozumi plans. He wants to compete against top tier clubs like Barcelona, Madrid, Manchester United as well, or maybe Inter Milan, AC Milan, like that, top clubs. We'll smash them all. Nozumi is hurt, Klesh, like expressing his feeling. The only ones able to shoulder such ambition are the ones to charge of training the youth. And Ashito is hearing, he's exhausted but still listening. Come and take the entrance exams. They will take place in Tokyo in 10 days. Fukuda is heard saying, go home now and talk to your family about it. And they will head towards a world stage. And this is where chapter 1 ends. I don't know how you guys feel. It was always entertaining for me to, read this stuff. It's one of my favorite mangas. There are 412 chapters. I assure you, in the next couple of years, not days, I'll read this chapters one by one so that you guys are able to resonate with the feelings. You guys can go through the panels yourself. It's a beautiful manga. It may take 4 or 5 years to complete it, but I want to take it slow, and I hope you guys were able to listen to it. I mean, it's one of my favorite mangas, and this chapter one. There are more 411 to go. Hope you guys liked it, and yeah, cheers, guys.